up, YouTube? How's everybody out there doing today? I hope you guys are having a fabulous day, and I hope you guys enjoy the video that is about to come at you right now. If you haven't already, do me a big favor. If you have not, hit that subscribe button for updates on this channel. Please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, and also hit that bell icon. Make sure you get notifications that the videos are up and running. We're uploading every other day, every 3 days, something like that, trying to stay consistent with everything. We're going to be working on the C7Z06 Corvette, and the very first thing I want to show you, love Pro Charger. Those guys are actually, that looks really good with the silver behind it, not gonna lie. Love Pro Charger, but I've had this sitting around for a while and I want to put it to good use, and I figured the C7Z06 would be a good way to use this plate. I actually had it made up almost a year and a half ago. I had it made up and mocked up to look pretty cool and to put on C7s for any type of a Pro Charger build or something of that nature. And this one's been sitting around, and I figured I'd put it on this car since we are rebuilding the entire C7Z06 that's here at the shop. The very first thing I want you guys to do is comment below and let me know what color I should powder coat this. The Z06 itself is yellow, but you're gonna be in for a little surprise, guys, and I can't give it away. But the Z06 will be getting wrapped. It will be getting a custom wrap done to it, and it will not be yellow anymore, unfortunately. So what I need help with, and I can't really tell you what colors it's going to be, but what would you think would be the best color to make this plate? Black, maybe? Kind of like the Pro Charger plate was? Or should we make it some other color, like a graphite or something like that? I'm thinking black, just because the Pro Charger itself is black. It's a satin black. The intake's satin black. And since the customer is getting the car wrapped, not yellow, obviously, I'm thinking about just maybe doing it black. But if you guys have a suggestion down below, do a comment. Let me know what you guys think a good color for this plate would be. In the last episode of the C7Z06 build, you guys seen us put the new cam in the freshly built Golen engines short block. The front cover, the rear cover, the oil pan has been installed, all that jazz. So the very next step that we need to do to this build is obviously the heads. So we have the stock heads that are sitting here on the left, and then we have a set of good old Gentek heads on the right, fully CNC'd. You guys can see down in the port there a little bit good. That's a little dirty, but let's turn them around. Give you a little idea of what the intake ports kind of look like here. Gentek does a very, very amazing job at porting all the heads, actually, the LS heads, the LT heads, all of them. As you guys can see in this, maybe you can, maybe you can't, right there, there's a little ridge, a little bump. That's completely removed out of this side on all the runners. They do an amazing job. They have a full CNC program. I highly suggest that you guys go hit them up if you need any of your GM heads done. They are very amazing at what they do. But considering the stock head was on a cam setup, we need to swap over the dual valve springs, which I've already done one head. We got them sitting here. We got to swap over the dual valve springs in place of these single valve springs. The Gentek heads come assembled with single valve springs, but if you're running a dual or an aftermarket cam setup, you're going to have to run a dual valve spring. So we do have to swap these guys over. The very first thing you guys have to pay attention to is we're going to grab our trusty good old pliers here, and that guy right there. This actually goes on each of the intake valves because they protrude up a little bit further, as you guys can see, compared to the exhaust valves. But let's go ahead and take these dual valve springs off, take these single valve springs off, put new seals on these heads, and then swap the new dual valve springs onto the new heads. Alright, so we have all the old stock valves off of the Gentek heads. we're going to get ready to put the duals back on the K-Tech heads. But I want to show you something real quick. These are the stock umbrella seals that came off of these heads. These are just stock from factory. They get replaced with these guys here because the dual valve spring obviously cannot fit and seat properly over the old stock ones. We have to use these new flat ones that come with the spring kit. These do have shims under them. We're going to reuse them over again, but we're just going to be replacing these seals with a set of new Felpro seals. Now that we have our dual valve springs on, we cannot forget to put our little caps on right there, the intake. There's going to be 8 of them. Stick them all on. Make sure you don't lose them because they are important to have. There you go. Intake, 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 intake. All right, now that the heads are done and ready to go, we have to put some parts on the short block before we put the heads and the head gaskets and the head studs in. And the very first thing that we're going to have to do is we're obviously going to have to put these lifters into the lifter holes onto the cam. Pretty simple job. I've already got them set up and in there, so pretty much it's just a matter of putting them down in here, line them up with the holes. They're already oiled and all that jazz. Come on, baby. There we go. That one's in there. This one's in here. Come on. There we go. As you can see, everything lines up the way it's supposed to be. Go on this side here like so. Stick these guys in here. Come on, baby. They can be a little tough to get in, but I guarantee you they will get in there. The nice thing is, that one there. There we go. Come on, baby. And in. Then there's going to be step bolts, little like chamfered head bolts that are going to go in here. There's 4 of them. That just they align these lifter trays. That way they're nice and straight. So we'll put them in next. All right. We have our 4 dowels in. 2 on each side. Now what we got to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to clean up these ARP head studs right here. Use a little anti-seize on the threads, stick that inside the block, get the head gaskets on, and then start putting the heads on and torquing them down, guys. Now we got ARP studs in. We're going to put our beautiful head gaskets on, guys. That one right there, like so. Come on. There we go. Make sure it sits down on there nice and pretty like. Front. Alright, time for some heads. So since this thing has ARP head studs, I obviously cannot follow the stock here we go, the stock torque specifications for an LT1 LT4 engine. So I have to go to the ARP website and check that all out. I ended up having to call ARP because for some reason I couldn't find the torque specs for these ARP studs, and they end up being 150 foot-pounds in 3 separate steps. So basically what that means is you want to do 3 separate steps of up to 115 foot-pounds. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to torque these heads down, get them all situated, and then that's pretty much done for that part of basically putting the heads on, guys. Guys, freaking one step closer to having this engine ready to go and get installed in the C7 Corvette, and we're going to start seeing some freaking horsepower here soon. Whew, that is a workout. That is a freaking workout, torquing these heads down. But there you go, guys. The heads are finally on the short block. We have now a long block, an actual long block. Not very much more to do. Basically, we're kind of at the stage where we can dump this engine in this car. We're going to put the K-Tech top cover on probably tomorrow here. Other than that, we're just going to cover this thing up for the night, keep it nice and clean, get the engine in, and then we'll do another video on obviously the installation of the engine and all the parts like the water pump, the brackets, the mounts, all that stuff, hooking up the transmission again, all that fun jazz. But we're getting there, boys. We are getting there, and I'm excited, and I hope you guys are excited as well. I have a lot of confidence. I think this thing's going to really make some horsepower, especially now that it has a nice set of K-Tech ported heads on it, you know what I mean? And a good cam and it, a little bit more boost, and I think we're going to see the numbers we need to see. And I think the customer is going to be very happy about it as well. So if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Instagram is Diablo Formula Racing. Facebook is also Diablo Formula Racing. Deuces, guys.